All right, hello. Good morning, good evening, good night. NFT Live Web3 Network. You already know what it is. We've got a couple local pieces of news, and I say local because they're part of our, growing community here. Jordan Lyle's launching Prohibition.Art today. We got a big coverage piece on that. We also are going to cover whether NFT price floors can keep up with ETH. We have Reddit getting into the token game, not the NFT game, the token game. So we got some stuff to talk on today, which isn't, we've been having a good last 2 weeks, so we'll see how that lasts. But anyways, Gif, what's up, man?
Yeah, we got an exclusive interview with the man, the creator behind this new exciting generative art platform on Arbitrum, Prohibition.Art. His name, of course, is Jordan Lyle. He took about 40 minutes out of his day-to-day to come and chat with us over on GM-Web3 on Twitter. So check that out. It's all recorded. That was an awesome combo. And they're also going to be, in about an hour, going to be talking with Snowfro on Twitter, which will be really interesting. But massive, huge thanks to him for coming and hanging out with us, taking some time out of his day. He's over there in Paris and literally hung up with his team to come talk with us for a little bit. So that's just tremendous. And he clearly has a lot of appreciation for you, Nifty Q, and what we do. And so that was just really cool.
I would love to go back to some of those old episodes and see Jordan Lyle launching meme back in 2020. It could have been 2020. Honestly, it might have been. It might have been late 2020 when he launched that. But yeah, Jordan's also obviously a serial builder. He built Nifty's platform, which has launched like many high-profile collections. The Matrix, I believe, was probably the biggest there. But his hopped around is leading up VenturePunk Studios, which has launched Skylab and a couple other big products. And this is probably his biggest to date, I think, from the VenturePunk launch pad or studio, if you will.
How do you even measure them? I mean, they're all pretty different. That's what's really interesting about him, is that it feels like he's not like stuck in one niche. Like he kind of plays with everything, but it does seem like generally he's focused on like platforms these days, different types of NFT platforms, tech platforms. But this is a really interesting one, man. And there's a couple pieces of alpha. You were just showing the Project Zero, which drops here in just 2 hours. And that's going to sell out super fast. So if you're going to try and get in on one of these first drops, launching at 12 p.m. PST, Emily Edelman is the artist. There's only 100. And you can see the details there. 1 of 100 edition, 0.05. First piece of generative art from a tremendous artist, Project Zero, launching on this new platform. This is going to go very fast. This is going to be super fast. So, so it's like you got to be ready to pull that trigger and pay some premium gas probably to try and make that happen.
All right, so the backdrop of this is obviously Jordan was really excited about the rise of generative art as well. So whether generative art can really be a catalyst for like another NFT bull run, we will see. That is up for the debate of what's going to take us there. But surely he's putting a lot of his chips on the table with Prohibition.Art. He's launching his own collection. He dropped that alpha there as well. So, dude, we always we love to make analogies on this show. Absolutely love them. Just everywhere across NFT Live. And one of the analogies I love is the console and game analogy to applications on blockchains. And it really takes an app like this or a platform like this to get me to really want to move over to something like Arbitrum, because it's on the Arbitrum blockchain. It's a layer 2 on Ethereum. And this is what it will take, is either through my relationship with Jordan or obviously through the platform and what it offers of going over to Arbitrum. So I'm excited to go check that out. I don't know what the bridge looks like right now. I have not bridged to Arbitrum myself. It's, it really isn't. Even bridging to Solana, I think, is relatively easy. So I'm sure a EVM compatible bridge is out there somewhere. Maybe we can get to you guys that by the end of the day.
Yeah, man, that was some alpha they dropped though. You mentioned it there briefly, but I'm like, it's maybe the most exciting thing that we got out of that convo with him was that he teased that he is working on his own generative art collection. Why is that a big deal? Well, because we love analogies, right, Q? And it could be analogous to Snowfro dropping the Chromie Squiggles on his own generative art platform, or Cyphered dropping his own RGB elementary cellular automatons, his own collection on FX Hash, his own generative art platform. These projects tend to trade at premiums. When a builder, creator launches their own early project on their own platform, specifically generative art platforms like Artblocks and FX Hash, people tend to pay attention to those and get into them. And yeah, Jordan's been a creative guy, launched his own collections in the past. It's not like he's new to art, so it's not going to be anything unsophisticated or uninteresting. And it will be the creator of the platform launching an early project. So I'm very excited about that.
Not to mention a bet here.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, obviously artists that we know and love that are part of their curated early projects like Jimena Buenavida, like Ed Balloon, people like that. So yeah.
All right, so I'm busy. This would be the episode here.
Well,
what's up?
Me too. To your point though, this would be my first time bridging over and engaging on Arbitrum, right? Like I'm interested in this. So this is the way for me to get over there and start playing around.
Okay, so I'm showing you guys the schedule here for Prohibition and the artists that they're initially collaborating with. So another really cool piece of this is that this is the schedule for the collaborators, but the platform itself is going to be open to anyone to create generative art. So I know there's like some technical knowledge that you'll need to be able to do that, but you're going to be able to utilize the tools here on Prohibition.Art. I'm not a big generative, like I'll tell you something. Like I was listening to Punk 6529 talk on Blockworks and their podcast episode and interview, and Punk is just fucking amazing. Like the guy is just genius IQ level, like in what feels like the 200s. And he was talking about generative art, and it really had the light bulb moment for me go off when he was talking about the ringer goose and how, you know, the chances of the ringer goose getting created within that process was so astronomically high, and that is an element of why generative art can be, you know, super valuable. And obviously the idea that we can create art using, you know, algorithms or using code is another element to this. So I'm just like getting my feet wet in generative art. I definitely am going to be a generative art collector as I mature into understanding that sector. So this will definitely be one that gets me to move over for sure.
Yeah, and that personal anecdote of your own sort of journey of learning more is part of why I've been saying, you know, if you would recall when we did our sort of big, bold 2023 predictions, one of mine that I've brought up the most probably was that generative art would really have a moment this year, that this year would be huge for generative art NFTs. And it's by and large, or part of that is because the education and understanding and appreciation for what generative art even is, I think is hitting a tipping point, right? Because there's a lot of different parts to like, kind of like you have to get familiar with different concepts of like, what even is it? Why do I care? Why is this art in the first place? Why is it interesting? So there's this whole kind of like barrier to entry, if you will, of like even understanding the technology enough to really appreciate it. And I think that we're hitting that tipping point where technology is advanced and distributed enough. There's enough understanding and use of the technology. You know, people understand, you know, NFTs to a degree. They understand digital assets to a degree. They understand code to a degree. You know, they understand art to a degree. And all this stuff now is starting to come together for people where it's like, oh, that's why generative art is interesting. It's a confluence of all of these different disciplines, creating something totally unique in real time. You know what I mean? Like you create the boundaries of this thing with the code. You create the rules and the inputs, but then when you hit mint, you press a button, whatever's created is completely unpredictable. And so the goose, the ringers that you're talking about, that came out with this goose looking head, totally randomly out of the algorithm that was man-made is basically a random collaboration with technology that is emergent, right?
Yeah,
So Punk 6529 called it emergent. Something emerged out of this that everybody recognized as a goose, and that's just so rare, right?
That was a really great point too that he made, was that the emergentness of it was the fact that not that it appeared in the images as it did on the art, like that in and of itself was just, you know, it happened. It's what people thought about it, where everyone can like look at that and say, oh no, that's a goose. Because some people look at it and be like, no, I don't see it. I don't see the goose. But for the majority of people, the emergent property there was, holy shit, that's a goose.
enough people all saw it together that it's a thing now, right?
Yeah. So look, we're deep down a rabbit hole. DP saying what's good with y'all. We're just getting the episode up and running here. We went live about 8 minutes ago. So if you guys want to share out the episode, that would do a bunch to get more folks in here. If you're listening on Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. Or if you're here afterwards, we love you guys. We appreciate the support always. Leave a like on the episode if you can. What I'm doing currently, because again, like before I get flamed the entire episode again, I'm very, very close to making a little bit of a purchase here on OniForce. So if I go over here, OniForce are now at 0.9. So they've been hovering. They're like 0.94. It's really been a little bit of a volatile day for them here. It's been like 1.2 or 1.1. You know, even at the start of the last 24 hours. I am extremely close to pulling the trigger on these. So that's my day. My only concern here, and maybe I'm, you know, already disproving my theory, because I have my money in USD right now, right? Or at least a portion that I want to spend here. Will ETH outperform NFTs is a problem that I'm looking at. Okay, so if I'm looking at just the USD value, I guess if it really doesn't matter whether I get into ONI, even if it if ETH 2x's and ONI drops by 0.5, it's still the same amount of USD, I believe. Or if ETH holds, I need to do my math here, but if I instead bought ETH in that time, I would potentially have more buying power to get into NFTs. That's at this point what I'm struggling with, because I know Oni is going to be here long term. Like, for those of you that are tuning in to NFT Live, we've been talking about, like, you're probably like throwing up right now, just being like, stop talking about OniForce. But this is where I'm at. This is the purchase. I don't know where ETH is going to go. And what that means for NFTs. I love the fundamentals. I hate the technical analysis here.
Bitcoin dropped below 30K today. It's been holding above 30K for weeks. Yeah, I'm curious what's going on there, why you think it dropped below 30K, but ETH still holding just under 1900. I don't know, man. It's all degen math and gambling at a certain point, you know? That's the thing, is that like you can try and like, you know, get really, really technical, you know, do the technical analysis side of it. I don't know. Like there's an extent, or there's a point with technical analysis where I'm just like, who the fuck knows? You know, I don't know. But yeah, trying to do the like conversion rates for like ETH versus NFTs, and like if things go up versus down, like, and if NFTs go up, what happens to ETH? If ETH goes up, what happens to NFTs? It's like, I do think though, I do think a lot of people have been, like, liquidity is so limited in NFTs. People are so short-minded. And it does feel like a lot of people are moving out of JPEGs into ETH right now. Like, it feels like the overall momentum right now is towards collecting ETH versus collecting JPEGs.
I would agree with that. And so like if I'm showing you guys off the Blur kind of price action here over the last day and 7 days. Yeah, everything's pretty much wrecked. Opepins are again doing well. The original Opepins there. But for the most part, everything's relatively messed up on the NFT price floor chart. But I guess, like, again, going back to, like, I want to pull the trigger on Oni. And I guess if I'm holding USD, again, if ETH goes to 4K, and then Onis go to 0.5, and say I bought all of them for the price of sake of math, I bought all of them at 1 ETH. it's still the same amount of USD. It is. So if I don't care about that, it doesn't matter. The problem is if I bought ETH, I think at that price, then my purchasing power gets higher. So again, like if ONI falls to 0.5 here, but ETH doubles, I still have the same amount of USD. That's what I'm looking at when I'm trying to, you know, make my decision for this, because I could live with that, right? Like maybe then ETH stabilizes and ONI triples. Like that would be an ideal case. So all that is to say, very, very close to pulling in on ONI. I know Comic-Con's happening right now. I haven't seen any announcements come through for ONI. I know they wanted to do several announcements while they were there.
Yeah, well, when is Comic-Con? Isn't it this?
It's this week. It's happening now.
It's happening right now.
Is it not? Is it next week? Don't do this to me.
It's July 20th to the 23rd. So yeah, it hasn't started. It starts in 2 days.
Okay, so it starts on. That makes sense. It starts on Thursdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well. All right. All right, we're going to touch on a couple different things. We already hit Prohibition.Art. DP, I'm interested in what you've got going on here today as well. The thumbnail is Reddit tokens. This is a story that's probably going underreported, to be honest. It feels like a big moment, not only for like Reddit itself, but the ability to have a platform that big say, hey, tokens are tradable.
I saw a take from Strawberry, which I think there's some credence to. He basically was saying like one of the reasons why NFTs haven't grown is because Twitter's the only place to get information, basically. And it's interesting because it feels like Reddit might be one of the only other places to kind of get information, but not really. It's not as big of a hub. And it definitely feels like they're a little bit siloed from each other. Right? Because like, yeah, you don't see a lot of coverage of Reddit and what's happening over there on Twitter. Even though what's happening there is pretty interesting. It seems like it's kind of its own closed walled garden in a way, right? It's like it's its own community of communities and its own platform. And a lot of the things that are happening over there really only impact you if you're hanging out on Reddit. But it's big. Again, like we talked about, Reddit is consulting Google now on their Web3. Like Reddit is going to be one of the most important platforms moving forward, especially in Web3 and crypto, but like the future of the internet. It's been called the front page of the internet for a long time. And we know that they're going to have an IPO later this year too. And there's been a lot of controversy around like the changes that they're making, but this change to terms and services is very pro crypto, and you had called out like it may be even directly related to the recent Ripple news that they pulled this update, this change, right?
Yeah,
they're feeling a little bit more confident that they can get away with it, maybe.
So before we jump in, because I think we should just hit it right now since we're on the topic, we quickly wanted to tell you guys, hey, we're not financial advisors. Do not listen to any of this. It's not legal or financial advice. You know the spiel. Do your own research. So please do that. And then also leave a like if you're here and appreciate the content. It helps us out a bunch. What's that? Do that one more time. There it is. I'm going to Jacob, clip that, please. All right. What we're talking about here today. Let me make sure I've got the right source pulled up here on my screen. So this is cryptocurrency Moons. This is the token for the subreddit cryptocurrency. It is called Moons. The actual ticker is Moon. It's up 120% on the 24 hours. And I believe it's up even more. So it's up 600% on the year. Now, why this is interesting is that this was not technically tradable within both terms of service and I believe definitely on centralized exchanges. Like centralized exchanges had not picked this up. There's an element to this we still need to kind of unpack here while we're live. But essentially, there was a change of terms of service overnight, and Reddit is now allowing freely peer-to-peer transactions of Moon token, which will lay the foundation for centralized exchange listings. It will lay the foundation for probably easier integration of tokens into their platform in general, and potentially just like subreddit communities to all have tokens in the future. So this is Bobby Ong's thread,
That's
but
interesting.
yeah, give it
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, what's up?
Well, no, what you just said, like all subreddits maybe having their own tokens. Sheesh. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's like overwhelming to think about, but you know, you think about a lot of NFTs and PFPs, they're basically just their own subreddits. They're just communities of collectors and like people that have a shared interest in something. There's not much difference between a subreddit and a Discord server, or like, you know, like what these are. Why wouldn't, if you've got an established subreddit with, you know, its own, you know, community and interests and values, etc., why wouldn't you try and build a business out of it, you know, create a marketplace, create more value that way, use it to scale what you're doing, you know? I don't know. That's fascinating.
So I'm going to jump into Bobby's thread, and there's a couple other pieces we can pull from this. But yeah, essentially that's the point, right? Not only now does this kind of lay the foundation for other social media platforms to say, hey, you can trade tokens on our platform, because that's what Reddit just did. That's why this is such a ridiculous piece of news, is they said you can actually have currency on the platform that can be pulled out and tradable, freely tradable. So Bobby's kind of echoing my statements here. He's saying, I don't see crypto Twitter talking much about Reddit's community points, so I want to share some observations since the token increased yesterday. There are two fungible tokens for the subreddit cryptocurrency, Moon and Fortnite Brick subreddits. Both are issued on Arbitrum Nova. That's another piece of this as well. We just gave you some info on Prohibition.Art. That is being built on Arbitrum. So you feel like there's some level of pickup in, I don't want to say sentiment, but at least activity on Arbitrum. That's the vibe I get. But here we go. I was surprised at the sudden increase yesterday, so went searching for a reason. Turns out there are some interesting changes to Reddit terms of service. Web2 centralized virtual goods like coins and awards are going away, while Web3 community points can now be traded. So virtual goods, coins, awards, and there's no X on avatars here. We've brought up Reddit collectible avatars a bunch. So coins and awards to be canceled soon, verified virtual goods, collectible avatars, and community points. So what does this do for the Reddit collectible avatars? Did those have some type of like hold on them while we were talking about them, and why the liquidity was so low and the volume was so low? Was there a hold on the terms of service?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, you've been able to get those out of the vault and like trade those on other platforms. But I don't know. This is something we got to dig further into. Again, I haven't been active enough on Reddit to like fully understand. So we're kind of learning all of this together. I just know that it's a big deal. Like, I actually think that this is actually a huge deal. You mentioned somebody's like literally building out a fucking kitchen right
every Tuesday.
Me, yeah. Oh God, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna go into Bobby's tweet here again. All right, big deal. Community points have always been tradable. Technically true, but it's just really troublesome to trade those tokens from the Reddit app. For those of you that don't know, Reddit app comes with a crypto wallet, has onboarded millions. So this is actually happening right now. It's very hard. Even with this new terms of service update to actually trade these, you have to export the private key from the Reddit wallet and import it into a crypto wallet. Then trade the community points on an Arbitrum Nova DEX. This also is on SushiSwap, by the way. I could pull up SushiSwap that has Arbitrum support as well, and you can do that there. Both tokens increased. Yes. No one knows exactly what is happening, but Reddit depreciating Web2 coins and awards while allowing trading of their Web3 community points could be something to monitor in the coming months. So he goes on to talk about like business models, like Reddit could create a DEX that's native to the platform, get fees from that. But it's a wild move, man. This is a unexpected. It would probably be the biggest terms in a world that we live in where so much of it is around like regulatory. You don't want to put yourselves in the spotlight. They were like, no, we're just going to allow openly tradable fungible tokens.
Yeah, it's loud over here, but I agree with you. And yeah, you also mentioned like Arbitrum picking up. I think it's interesting how they're positioning themselves separate from Polygon. Like, I think it was interesting Jordan Weil highlighting like there's a reason why he didn't go with Polygon. Polygon seems to be the more sort of like corporate big Web2 brand integration, platform play. Maybe Arbitrum is a little bit more of the like crypto, native, decentralized, rebellious, counterculture layer two. So I think that that's really interesting. We talk a lot about chains having their own personalities, things like that. And yeah, so if Polygon is like the big corporate brand, Web3 initiative, Arbitrum is the counter to that, maybe.
It was interesting to hear Jordan say like the vibes on Arbitrum are a little bit better than Polygon. Like that is not what I expected. We've been singing Polygon's praises, but it does feel like,
well, I think he meant more for specific for Prohibition, because he was clear. He's like, I'm not shitting on Polygon. They're actually like a partner, right? Yeah. But I think the vibes are different. I don't think he's saying they're better, but I think for Prohibition, which is more of like a rebellious counterculture gen art movement, he's like, that just makes more sense, right? It doesn't make sense to put Prohibition next to Starbucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to show one last thread here. This is from Wilfred. So the crypto Wilfred, again, just a random user, right? But he put together a good thread underneath Bobby Ong's thread. So he's basically like, hey, I already wrote about this. So I think it's worthy to point out. Obviously, he touches on the native tokens are up big. Over the weekend, Reddit updated its TOS. The new update means users can now freely trade moons and other digital assets issued on Reddit, including the collectible avatars on Polygon. I don't know what this means right here, this piece, because to my knowledge, everything's already been able to be traded on like OpenSea. We've seen collectible avatars being traded there. So I don't know what he's getting at.
It might be in their own internal market, though. Maybe that's what he means, because I don't think you've been able to trade. Like, I don't know if there's been a secondary marketplace for avatars within Reddit yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, most of that trading's happening.
Also, on that note, that's actually an important thing about Prohibition, is that they are launching with a secondary market already built out that does protect artist royalties. So that was an important point to be made about that new platform on Arbitrum.
Very good point. Yeah, the native art platforms having creator royalties makes perfect sense. So I'm glad that there's so many different things he's doing right on that, but we definitely already gave him some love. What's Moons, by the way? It's an exciting experiment by Reddit to reward user engagement in subreddits. So people have been earning these by engaging in those subreddits. Reddit is currently using Arbitrum's Nova network for Moons. Thus, users can independently trade Moons on dexes like SushiSwap. But Reddit's former TOS prohibited the trading of assets users receive. Technically meant crypto exchanges could not list Moons. So, a lot of... Dude, I mean, this is a big discussion. Obviously, we're doing a deep dive here. I want to get everybody else's take as well. Left Ashton House saying ARB, ZK Syncs, Cosmos, Pulse Chain, all chains that have some interesting shits going on them. So it's fair. It's great take. What about you? You left off Wax. So this could drive some interest, right? Hence, it appears that a possible tier 1 exchange listing is what has been driving Moons. Remember, this is all pure speculation and things can change quickly in crypto. So, again, price chart looks nice for those that are already holding Moons. The question is, at sitting around a $39 million market cap, could this have that Pepe effect, right, that we've talked about in meme coins, where it's like one of the first kind of meme coins in that wave? That chart looks, I don't want to make any assumptions here, but this chart can go, obviously one of two ways. I think at a $39 million market cap, it's going to be extremely volatile. One, volumes aren't very high, so you're going to have to deal with that as well. So it's an extremely risky play, but if Reddit tokens take off, Moon would be one of the first to have that, quote unquote providence that you always talk about.
Well, if it's like their native, Yeah, I guess I don't fully understand still like how it fits into the larger Reddit ecosystem. If it's just like for one subreddit, you know what I mean? If it's
That's
like
fair.
if it's more broadly accepted across Reddit, then it could be huge. But I guess yeah, this is why we're still learning. So again, let us know in the comments if you got any insight or if you got any questions on it. We're going to continue to follow the story though. I do think it's interesting that it's not getting that much attention on crypto Twitter.
Yeah. No, you make a great point about volume there. Like each subreddit can't support like like a large market cap. I mean, at that point, you could make the argument with that happened with NFTs though. You really could. Like you had smaller, collections even with certain market caps that didn't match the size of their communities because they were just being speculated on. But yeah, no, I think it's a fair point.
Well, if there's like specific subreddits with a bunch of whales in them, you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah, that's fair too.
Maybe they do really well.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody has any other takes here on the Reddit tokens. Obviously, me and Gif are pretty interested in this. What it does for Reddit collectible avatars too. I know you're a big holder of some of these, at least on the Reddit avatar side. If there's like a native marketplace integration, that would be legit. But I mean, would you be buying this right now, Moons?
Well, it's probably gonna have a correction downward if it just spiked like 120%.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I might, I'm interested for sure. Like I might want to pick up some, especially if it can now be listed on a major exchange.
Yeah, 300% here in the last 7 days. So it's tough with small caps like these, man, because you could sit here and say like, yeah, it is gonna have a correction, but it could also go incredibly the other way, with really small cap tokens like that. So anyways, I think we, gave that its due. We'll be following the Reddit tokens as they come out. I haven't looked at Bricks. I haven't seen Bricks. Let me see if Bricks is being traded. Fortnite Brick. So of course the smaller cap token is doing more. $4 million market cap. Shit. Okay, so a lot of the times on NFT Live, we're looking at this with y'all, so I need to confirm this is legit, but this has a $4.5 million market cap. That's extremely low for an altcoin. Might be bridging over to Arbitrum for many reasons here in just a second. All right, we're going to move on in the episode. Good to see everybody here early. Left Action House, appreciate you being here and chatting along, man. It seems like a lazy Tuesday here for a lot of people, or people don't want to talk Reddit tokens, I guess. But we will move on to the next topic here in just a moment. Gif, you got anything else you want to say about this Reddit piece before we move on?
I need to spend more time on Reddit because I see them positioning themselves incredibly well. Again, the fact that they're already the ones consulting Google on their Web3 initiatives just says so much to me. And they seem to be ahead of the curve right now on Web3 and the future of where everything's going. So I don't know, man. Shout out to people at Reddit again. I'm really interested in everything they're doing.
Okay, remember this episode here. Market cap for Brick specifically is at 4.6 mil. The price is at about 4 cents. Again, this is not financial advice, but that seems to be, and it's on a chain that not many people have access to. Like you're up here listening to us talking about, oh, I need a bridge to Arbitrum. Those are alpha opportunities. When you hear people say, I need to get over there, but I'm not there yet, those are alpha opportunities. Much like I think the ordinals play early in like February would have been a great time to bridge or get to that action over there on the Bitcoin blockchain. Left Action House saying, I never understand Reddit and always get banned every time I post. I don't get it.
So
like
I can't speak exactly to, it's the mods. Yeah, I can't speak exactly to what you're doing, but I know that they're extremely pretentious and protective of like people that go in there with any sort of like marketing or promotions. Yes. Like they're super hardcore on like if you're trying to promote anything that feels like a shill or a promotion, they shut that shit down. They're not there for that. So maybe that's why I've been shut down on Reddit before because I was trying to like promote a comedy production. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're not like an active poster and then you go in, I think I've done that as well and been swiftly banned. But look, that's the grind, man. That's the grind that we're all in. All right, I'm gonna hit the NFT Go bag check here and take a look at the market. NFT Go is a sponsor on this month's episodes of NFT Live. We appreciate them, and we will hop in to check out the cold ass market sentiment. This is the lowest I've ever seen market sentiment here. Their barometer, which has, I guess, proprietary information here.
Ooh, it's freezing in here, bro.
It's a little
freezing.
It's a tad bit cold. Blue chip index is not doing as well as it was over the last 3 days, so that fell off a little bit of a cliff there against ETH, against USD. We can check it out as well. Not as much of a dip. Obviously, ETH is performing pretty well. It was at like 1950 yesterday. I don't know what it's sitting at now, like 1890, something like that. Market cap and volume took a dip as well. And then against USD took the same dip there. Let's check out the collections over the last 7 days and 24 hours. So over the last 24 hours, Azuki, Opepin, Punks, Bored Ape, the Captains, Mutants, Invisible Friends. The hell's going on with Invisible Friends in the top 8? Azuki Elementals, Azuki Elemental, Beans, and DeGods. And then over the last 7 days, it's been Bored Apes, Punks, Azuki, Captains, and most of the same except Ether Capsules are actually in the top 10 as well. So that is the NFT. Yeah, let's take a look at the marketplaces real quick. Probably unchanged.
We should look at Invisible Friends. Go see what's going on over there.
Uh-oh. Wow, NFT Go, the wash trade filter. Part of the subscription model there, Charge. Okay. I see you guys working. Easy, it's good to see you. Our vibe, our tribe. And I can pull up Invisible Friends. Hell. Hey, I got nothing.
What, you can't even pull up Invisible Friends? What do you mean you got nothing?
No, I mean, I got nothing. I got a garbage bag delivery truck.
It's invisible?
Invisible Friends. I got Garbage Friends that's being retweeted by Invisible Friends. So it looks like there's some type of mint that's happening today for Invisible Friends. There's Garbage Friends.
Garbage Friends, all right.
Trading Trash, a collection from Typical Friends. Let's garbage talk. Huh. Yeah, we're deep in the recesses of crypto Twitter here.
Garbage Friends. Don't we all want to be garbage together?
Whales. Yeah, man. Look, not an Invisible Friends holder, so I'm gonna leave this one alone.
This is a metaphor for the NFT space right now. Just fucking garbage.
Is it? Dude, Gift is absolutely getting wrecked by his neighbor here. On it, like, waits till NFT Live starts to actually talk about this. All right, so we showed you NFT Go. We got through Reddit. We talked Prohibition.Art. If you're interested in that generative art platform, definitely check that out after the episode's not live anymore. After we move on to IRL things.
Short episode today. Let's why not? I don't feel like there's that much to talk about. Feels like a slow day.
It does. I didn't actually get in. So I feel like, is the thread guy stuff calming down? I feel like it's not. I don't think the OPEP and thread guy stuff is slowing down. It's actually surprising still.
I think all the brands have to hop onto it, and then it slowly dies.
This is what my fucking timeline looks like, folks. It's just every other, like, this is not a search form. This is not a search timeline. This is my actual timeline, and it sucks. I hate it. I guess for the culture. Is that what
the culture, man? Opensea for the culture, bro.
Hey, I appreciate NFT Go for sticking to your guns, sticking to not following the path of least resistance like Opensea. Let's go to Opensea.
Watch them change their PFP in like one. Watch them change their fucking PFP here in just an hour.
This is the cringiest thing that I've seen.
Quantum Variant saying, I will not be making an OPEPN. You know, sticking to his guns too. Shout out Quantum Variant.
This has to be the cringiest thing that I've seen since all of those brands tried to get in at like the height of the NFT scene, when they were like wag me to each other. When like Wendy's was talking to Pepsi and was like, hey, what's up, friend? Wag me. I hate OpenSea.
What happened to BlackRock? What happened to the BlackRock NFTs? Hey, OpenSea.
It's OpenSea's like tries to act like the cool uncle at the party, and it's like, "What's up, guys?"
What's that Steve Buscemi meme? Yeah, where he's up like, "What's up, fellow kids?"
That's OpenSea. Jeez, because at least Blur like knows who they are, and Blur's just like the shady. Just kid. He's like that kid that's like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What's his name? He's just slanging different tickets and drugs. What's his name?
Martin Shkreli.
I don't think so. I don't think that's his name. Someone knows his name here. The cool kid.
I know who you're talking about. Sean Penn. Sean Penn's character.
Well, no, he's the surfer dude.
I thought that was the cool kid. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going that far down that analogy, but I appreciate any support. I'm drowning here.
What happened to BlackRock
it got
NFTs?
Delisted. It got delisted.
They delisted their own fucking C drop?
Yes.
Absurd, bro. This is absurd. It's on Blur.
Yeah, they delisted it off their own platform after launching it. It's just amazing. Couldn't even write it, but for the culture though, they gotta keep up appearances. They gotta look cool for the kids, for the the cool kids club. Anyways,
it's hard out here to be a marketplace, man. Look,
it's hard out here in general. I don't give a shit about them. If you guys got anything else, are you like all of a sudden like loving OpenSea?
Nah, it's not that. It's not that, man.
Then what is
it? It's just funny. I don't know. I don't like just sitting up here and talking shit. But I think the BlackRock thing is sus. I think it's fucking sus, dude. They're starting to launch projects. They're starting to launch like rug their own projects. You know what I mean? It's like
it's because they don't care. That's the only point I'm trying to make. All right, we're gonna be up here for like 5 more minutes. Again, it's slow news day, so we might call it early here. Do you guys have anything you want us to hit on? There was like I think specifically there was a Flash DC3 drop that we talked about on the GM Web3 morning show. Arbitrum would be one to get like really. It would be great to get a team member in here.
Let's go look at the Flash. People were confused about, is that walled garden? How does it work?
I actually like it. I love this quantum variant because you're calling out GIF. Did you boys mint Jimenez Bright Moments? Did you do it live? GIF, I thought you were minting live.
I haven't yet because gas was like horrible. It was like $60 in gas to try a minute when I tried to last week. But I want to get one because I think they're awesome. The Epiphanies. Shout out Jimena. We can pull that up too if you want on the Bright Moments website. We did highlight it last week. But yeah, I want to get one of those. But yeah, for some reason last week, I think maybe it was around the Ripple time. Like everybody was moving shit around. I don't know. Or maybe it's just Bright Moments. Their gas is not optimized. I don't know.
Yeah, Jimena's part of the Prohibition launch as well. Let me see if I can pull up the Bright Moments, though. Let's see if we can get here. So what did you specifically want me to show? Just
That's
the
it.
Epiphanies here,
Yeah.
online minting.
Yeah, because this is live for 12 more days. And it's an awesome generative collection partnered with Bright Moments. Also, which uses the Art Blocks generative art engine. If you didn't know, this will be on Ethereum, and her new project on Prohibition will be on Arbitrum. But yeah, she's done several generative art projects on Tezos now too. So this is, I think, her third generative art project. The Prohibition one will be her fourth. So Jimena becoming a prolific generative artist right in front of our eyes. And I love to see, you know, it's all feels like there's a very clear through line in her work as it evolves. It's all very geometric, playing with shapes and forms, very colorful. And yeah, this is possibly my favorite project that she's done, and I have not minted one yet, so I plan to. Hopefully gas won't be horrible today.
And that was again on Ethereum?
Yeah, that's on Ethereum.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. We don't, again, guys, we don't have much else. I got heavy metals that are ending here relatively soon. Like, it's literally
season
2 days
one
left. Yeah, 2 days left. People are getting kicked out of the top 100, freaking out. Just a whale game, man.
Yeah, it is. Let's look at the DC Flash thing real quick. Let's see what we can find out about that. Because Jawa seemed pretty bullish about it on GM-Web3. He seemed to think like it was pretty cool the way that they were doing it. I haven't been bullish at all on these big, you know, IP drops. Most of them I think have been poor, but I really haven't participated in much of them. I think, you know, what he's saying is like all of them go to zero, but that's what all movie collectibles generally do. So it's more just about you just want to have a collectible because you like the film.
So the DC Flash piece, I'm not even like, am I looking at Warner Bros. Entertainment? Because I was trying to look for, while we were even live on the morning show, I'm trying to look for like a link that wasn't going to get my entire wallet drained. There's a lot of like fake wallets here. So if you can send me the link, I'll definitely pull that up. Yeah, not very bullish on, not very bullish on like these larger entertainment companies launching collectibles. I am bullish on like smaller, these smaller, like specifically PFP projects launching collectibles, and that's somehow being a revenue driver for them to like have more sustainable business models for their holders, and then transferring that value to their holders at least in various ways. All right, so I'm pulling this up. Oh God, we got a whole trailer for this. That's how you know it's going to be a rug. Here we go. Let's see it.
Web3 movie experience, limited premium edition. Journey through an immersive environment featuring 5 locations. With hidden collectibles.
I'm already out.
Cover exclusive 2D digital cards. And 3D models.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
And unbelievable AR experiences, plus much more. Plus much more. And unbelievable AR experiences, plus much more.
Whoa.
Then continue your interactive adventure with hours of bonus features, deleted scenes, and experience the Flash movie in 4K Ultra HD.
Are you in? Let's go.
The Flash Web3 movie experience, Premium Edition, also available in Mystery Edition, dropping July 18th. Visit web3.wb.com. Get yours before they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, what I don't understand is like why all of these always feel so cheesy and extractive, and why they can't like try and figure out how to actually build brand equity instead of it just feeling like they're just taking a piss. Like, because you could use collectibles and experiences to actually create something like meaningfully valuable. And maybe this will be to some people. Like, again, maybe it's just us. Maybe we just don't get it. And like this will actually tickle somebody's pickle. Maybe this will scratch somebody's itch, flog their dolphin, wax their Corvette. Maybe it will. Maybe it will do that for some people. But like,
not this guy.
Yeah, but like they always, when I look at this, it feels like it's just junk. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you are going through, and I was just at Universal Studios the other day. It feels like you're exiting through the gift shop and they're just selling you overpriced junk.
Okay. So I spoke with Andrew Steinwald on a Wild Wild Web podcast interview, and he had a really great point about the series NIP Cars. You know that like big movie franchise? Are you familiar with that? Yeah. That movie franchise, it's like 7th movie. And I have not watched, other than the first one, I haven't watched any of them. But apparently it's still huge IP today. The money that they make from the collectibles is more than the money that they make from the movie. And I think it's just tying this into Web3, I think it's a really dope model for these companies that can return some value to their holders. Like, this is the thing with this with this Warner Bros. Digital collectibles, there's no way that they can return value to any type of holder. Like, the incentive structure is not there. So they're just taking a bunch of money. There's likely not going to be an increase in these collectibles, and there's no win.
It's purely extractive. That's what I mean. It's not actually about returning or creating any value for the community. It's pure extraction by selling more junk collectibles. It's like exiting through the gift store. You go and you ride on the Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios. You come out of the ride and you go through the gift store. There's 5 fucking gift stores within, 1,000 feet. And all they are doing is selling overpriced stuff, which, again, people love to go there and get that stuff, but it's not returning that much value. And this is just that. It's extracting as much value from the IP and from the community as they can, instead of actually finding. And that's what's infuriating to us as people who have Web3 values, wanting to actually participate or see some kind of like shared value, something created that's actually meaningful long-term that can live on the blockchain and accrue some value or matter. And just doesn't seem like they care, like they want to do any of that. And so it's infuriating. Like we see this over and over again. It feels very cash grabby because that's what it is. It's just to try and extract some additional value and use it as additional marketing for the movie.
So I'm pulling up, fine. Yeah, I'm pulling up the.
There's always going to be that, right? There's always going to be that. That's the thing. It's just not what we are in the space for. But I guess like what's additionally infuriating about it is whenever we see this is that it doesn't seem like these companies ever do much to actually onboard more of their community into the space.
Yeah,
it seems like they're constantly
from all sides. Like,
they just constantly come with their hand out to extract more value from the few people that are left in the space, instead of actually educating and onboarding and doing things to provide any sort of value really back to the space. So I don't know.
So great comments coming through here. DP saying hire me because they have no idea what the hell they're doing. They won't hire anyone with sauce. These brands know nothing about the culture of Web3 and how industries function. They think they're in the toy industry. Quantum Variant says, you don't think owning a movie on the blockchain is important? Man, I don't. Is that what they're doing here? I feel like that's not like the.
Do you actually own anything, or is it in a walled garden?
So that's why I brought up Alluvio, which is the company behind their Web3 integration here. I'm not advanced full feature platform for all Web3 media. I mean, having something that's scarce would be legitimate, like on the blockchain that you could own. I don't necessarily know the value of like, do I need, it's just, I don't know if I need that. Like I don't like hoard my VHS tapes, you know, like I'm not, it's not something that like I collect. So maybe somebody that collects these items would want to collect that digitally. But isn't there already a way to, like, I don't know. I don't want to, we're getting too far into the tech now. I'm not.
Let us know what you think.
Weeds.
Let us know what you think. Would you collect this? Why would you collect it? Because I'm just not there yet with this stuff, man. It feels too extractive to me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not a big enough DC or Flash fan, though. You know?
So this did look like the Lord of the Rings drop, and I know you had a moment of freak out there, being like,
I thought they were talking about Game of Thrones. I got confused. Yeah.
So this looked like the Lord of the Rings drop, and that's because this is the same people that put on the Lord of the Rings drop. I don't know if that drop was successful, but the same rhetoric that was used in their, the trailer there that we just saw was used in that Lord of the Rings drop. It was like exclusive behind the scenes looks. It was potentially digital collectibles. It was like hopping into a hobbit hole in the same way that they hopped into the spaceship and you could like look around.
They have a model that they think is good that they're trying to just reproduce now, right?
I would love to see. I would really love to see if that Lord of the Rings drop actually did anything. And doubtful on secondary at all. But like 99% chance that those things did not do well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wonder how much they even raised on that.
Good question. If anybody knows, let us know. Gnosis Save coming out with a credit card where you can spend your crypto. That's cool. That's cool. Also, I don't know if you caught this on your timeline, Q. Poly, OX Poly, is launching, it looks like another meme coin. And I don't know, man. After the Ben.eth, the crypto boy, all that stuff, man, like anybody who's like jumping on that is kind of wild. I don't know. I guess everybody just hopes that they get in early, get that initial pump, right? And then they all they all try and dump on each other. You know, it's just, man.
I tried to follow Pauly because I not that I like really enjoy his takes, but I think like having a curated timeline of people that are like move markets is important. But then he started tweeting about Bored Apes being Nazis, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
That seems like that's his biggest trick right now for attention. Is he's just like, hey, I'm gonna take all the hatred and negativity online, especially people that aren't in Bored Apes, that don't like Bored Apes, and just spin that up into my own engagement farming. And it's just like Ryder Rips 2.0, right? Like,
yeah, it really is. It reminded me of that completely. Okay, we have no.
I just don't. I don't understand why people keep getting suckered into that, man. I don't know. Like, wouldn't you think at this point you've seen enough of that type of engagement farming and like these meme lords launching shitty crypto, like their own tokens, that like you'd think at some point people would just like turn it off and be like, I'm not going to get sucked up in this nonsense. But
the thing
dude,
is,
so many people
the people that get involved in that like actively and are like actively following Pauly, it's like Mad Max. Like all of the cars, they're like raiding villages. They're just like people are dying. They're killing each other. Like it's just Mad Max.
Chaos.
And so like but they're doing it because they think there's going to be some bountiful booty at the end of that rainbow. You know what I mean?
Which for a few there will be. There will be a few people, and it's probably going to be Pauly primarily.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely him. But if you're lucky enough, or you're like early enough on one of his calls or something like that, you can 10x something pretty quick. But you can also lose
watching,
your ass.
I guess. Yeah,
it is.
All right.
All right. This will be the last story for today. We'll cut it off a little bit early. Appreciate y'all kind of working your way through the episode here. Cam Taylor saying too many losers in this space. Sorry. Oh, whew. Don't say sorry about that. We're all about
facts. Facts, bro.
Very much facts. Dead Polaroid is saying, dude is so cringe. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement here. Decentralization accepted everywhere. Unlock the future of finance with a Gnosis card, a self-custodial Visa debit card. Huh.
Seems bullish.
You can make purchases with your Gnosis card at any Visa terminal, no different than any other Visa card.
I think like the only thing that bugs me about this is that like they're trying to position themselves as decentralized, but it's Visa. Like, you know, like, do you know what I mean? It's like you're still using Visa as your payment processor here. So you're just taking decentralization and feeding it back into.
Okay, so yes, but Visa is used everywhere. So you have the added capability of using it anywhere.
Yeah. I guess the hope, isn't the hope with decentralization to get off of the existing like infrastructure though? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it feels kind of confusing in a way. Like, I understand that we're not going to just like get away from the existing infrastructure entirely, but like, isn't part of the point if you're paying with cryptos that you don't want to be paying 3% credit card fees on everything or whatever? Like,
well, you're paying a gas fee. You know, you are
paying fees somewhere, but like if you're on L2s or on some, you know, scalable solution, then it should be pretty low. But if we're just tying it back to Visa, then nothing's changing except you're paying gas fees on top of Visa's charges now, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the technical aspect of like gas plus whatever they're charging. Okay, at the very least, this is a stopgap to whenever we get to the point where there are actual like point of sale credit cards or debit cards that work at everywhere Visa can work. Because again, that's the whole point, right? Visa is accepted everywhere. So I like this move. I like this. Quantum, I appreciate you bringing this up.
Yeah, I think, well, look, it adds more utility for your crypto, makes it, I mean, they can't really stop crypto if it's accepted and integrated into all of the existing systems anyway, right? So it's like, I don't know. I think it's positive. I'm just kind of confused about crypto leaning into the existing banking and money system.
Yeah. I mean, look, it
feels kind of backwards in a way.
It has that feel of like AWS supports the entire crypto infrastructure. Like it has that feel.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about that shit though.
Yeah. Well, I do. That's why I'm trying to bring it up, but I don't. I also don't know enough about it other than like, there's probably not really an alternative, really.
So this is probably, you know, my favorite aspect of this is the ability to, again, and Quantum, you're bringing it up, self-custody and still be able to use a Visa card. Like that's those
Web
two.
2.5.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, this is dope. Provides hassle-free peer-to-peer layer 2 transactions without KYC. Operates as a layer 2. So how do you get this card here? What do I have to do? So ordering your self-custodial Gnosis Pay debit card is quick and easy. There has to be some type of KYC here, right? Like they can't give me a Visa card and not know who I am and I get to spend crypto through the card.
There's got to be KYC for sure. Also, Quantum Variant, when are you going to come on the show and shoot the shit with us, my guy? You're always showing up with great insight. Would love to have you. Also, Nifty Q should follow up with Jordan, maybe not today, but maybe in another day or two about getting him on NFT Live. Maybe he'll come on like later this week or next week. He said he was down.
Would love to get him on. Him and Yacht, I think, are like the most tenured on this channel.
Tenured.
You can say both of that.
Can you say tenured? Is that a pronunciation?
That's a pronunciation.
Tenured. All right, I haven't heard that before. Schooling me.
All right, I think that is going to be it for the Gnosis Pay. This is not available for U.S. residents, by the way, folks. So there you go.
All right, there you go.
EU getting after it over there. Stop crypto, not possible. let's see. I hope in August I'm swamped at work the next few weeks. All right. Well, we're swamped too. We're swamped in love from y'all joining the chat and just joining us each day. Gift's been really tough today. I had to bully my way onto the stage a little bit a couple different times, man. He thought I was giving MetaMask FUD. Now I'm saying Tenord, and he doesn't like that, and he's looking at me all strange. It's one of them days.
If I'm being a little bit too hard on you, Q, I apologize. Smash the like.
Nope.
Make him feel a little bit better.
You're not getting away with that. Nope. The smash the like. I just saw this stuff on my timeline.
I appreciate you showing up and sharing that beautiful piece of art, because my day my day would not have been complete without getting to see this. It's beautiful, Q.
Let's
mic drop.
I'm going to ask
That's the mic
question.
drop for this episode.
I'm going to ask Bunny's question to the rest of you. How much would Pepsi need to pay you to make this your PFP for an entire year? Drop the answers in the chat. I need to know.
6.9 ETH. Probably more, honestly.
Honestly, a real answer, 6.9 ETH. So like
7 ETH.
Like $14,000. I probably do it for 10.
10 ETH, that's probably fair.
It? No, 10,000. I'm a cheap bitch.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. I'd probably do it for 10 G's. Maybe less. You never know, man. You could turn that 10 G's into 100.
Sell that ass.
I'm trying to, dude. We're out here. I need to see other people's answers. What would get you to change? God, we already lost it. Maybe that's for the best. All right. Again, slow day today. We appreciate you joining NFT Live. We'll be back tomorrow. GM Web3 left Action House selling his PFP for a 6-pack of a Pepsi or beer. Like, damn. Sheesh.
Everybody's got a price, man.
Damn. Some of us lower than others, apparently. All right. We'll see you guys later. Okay. Wait, numbers coming in. Dead Polaroid said 10. No, wait. So 10 G's you would not take. Nox Darkness agreeing with me. 5 ETH. What do you think, Gif? Like, give me an actual answer. What's the answer? Because we're getting 10.
6.9 minimum. I think closer to 10 ETH would make me happy.
Dude, you guys are stingy. 20 G's?
Bro, you're selling your digital identity for a year. You're selling your soul to corporate bullshit. Like, dude, that's a horrible drop. Like, are you kidding? Pepsi? Mic drop?
Iconic.
NFT?
Truly infamous.
Infamous is Yetis. I don't think they even deserve the infamy title.
All right, Prohibition.Art. Before we get out of here, Prohibition does release today. Good luck getting in this one, folks. We're going to have somebody from Arbitrum on relatively soon because it seems like activity's picking up over there. But 0.05 ETH, 100 of these.
In 30 minutes.
Isn't Jordan on with Snowfro right now?
Yeah, they're on Twitter.
All right, we're headed over there right now. Appreciate y'all joining us today. We will be back tomorrow with Biggie Poppins. Ronan's going to start coming on Thursdays, so just add that to your schedule. If you're here only for Ronan and you're wondering where the fuck is Ronan, Thursdays is when you need to come in. So we appreciate y'all, our vibe, our tribe. Gif, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Just, I appreciate you, Q. I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks.